Welcome back to the Talkin Chop podcast, brought to you by the folks over at Chief of Staff KC. This week, we have a very special guest for our Super Bowl preview, the mayor of Kansas City and one of the Chiefs' biggest super fans, Mayor Quinton Lucas. Mayor Lucas, how are you today?
You know what? It is a wild, crazy week. There's a lot of work on Sunday, but look, it can't be bad because the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl this Sunday. People are going to stop paying attention to things about Wednesday at 9 a.m., so I am all good.
There we go. It's great to hear. Well, we've got an exciting episode for you this week. As we chop it up, we'll bring you our preview of the final stop on the Chiefs Run It Back tour and our predictions for the big game on Sunday. But first, we're bringing you our positions of the week, brought to you by Chief of Staff KC, your local trusted talent scouts. Lucas, what do you got for us this week?
Yeah, so we have a position in the Northland. All of our jobs really reside downtown, Johnson County area, so we're breaking up north. Property accountant role. A Yardi guru was requested. So if you have 3 to 4 years of property accounting experience with that Yardi accounting software, that'd be great. I have about $200 million in commercial real estate assets, and so it would be a very exciting company with a lot of vertical growth. So property accountants out there, give me a call.
And on the operations side, we have an assistant project manager position that actually just came across my desk this morning. They're going to need Procore experience and really just looking for an aspiring young project manager. So if that sounds like you, shoot us your resume and we'll get you in the loop. But those are your positions of the week, brought to you by Chief of Staff KC.
All right, well, Mayor Lucas, thanks for being here. We're going to talk some shop first. Obviously, everyone in the city has a great idea of kind of who you are, but we'd love to have a little quick background into your career or your story leading up into you becoming Kansas City's mayor.
Well, first of all, I'm somebody who needs a lot more qualifications because, like you said, experience in Yardi and Pro4, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So I am the most useless of all professions. I'm an attorney by training, so
Sure.
Yeah, we just exist. Now, background: born and raised Kansas City. If you want to know a bunch of stuff, so grew up. Oh, hey, if you want to know the real long story, born at Truman Hospital, grew up East Side Kansas City. Hardworking single mom, made a good life for me. Scholarships got me to the Barstow School in South Kansas City. Went on to college, St. Louis, and then law school was at Cornell. I thought about staying out east to start my career. I was going to become some fancy DC lawyer for a while, but I was like, just the pull of Kansas City was too exciting for me. Yep. I had to come back to see if Herm Edwards could actually turn around the Chiefs. That did not happen. Did not happen with John Haley, but and certainly didn't happen with Romeo Crennel. But nevertheless, you wait long enough and time works out. I joined the KU law faculty in 2012. That's probably my last real day job. I teach contracts, that sort of thing. Ran for city council, won in 2015 on council. My 4 years, a lot of the big issues we dealt with, streetcar, KCI airport, among other things. 2019, Sly James was term limited, so I said, what the heck, I should throw my name in the hat. There felt like there were about 300 people running for mayor.
Yeah.
All of us got like 7 votes. I got 9, and so it worked out for me. But now, and then I've been mayor since the second half of 2019. And the craziest thing is this, right? I was looking through pictures the other day. So like I'm basically mayor during Chiefs training camp 19.
Right.
And awesome experience, all of that. The Chiefs season goes great. We win a Super Bowl. I'm like, this is the easiest and greatest job of all time. And then, like for all of us, right, the world gets more interesting through 2020. But in Kansas City, I'm still proud of things we've done. Zero fare transit, affordable housing production. Still, I think making sure our businesses are open. A lot of small business relief during the pandemic. So that's about it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Excellent. I appreciate you sharing. Thanks for that.
Yeah, so that kind of leads into the next question. Obviously, you brought up, COVID this year, and 2020 was a difficult year for everyone with all the adjustments required to collectively fight the pandemic as a city. But as kind of a relatively newly elected mayor, you were faced with a really tremendously difficult task to kind of curb the spread of the virus. How did the coronavirus kind of test your leadership, and what did you learn most from that?
Oh, man, it tests my leadership daily. I mean, look, I know I got some haters out there, but there is no mayor or governor or anyone we do ribbon cuttings, right? We're happy people. We're like, hey, yeah, everything's going great. Thank us for it, even if we have nothing to do with it, right? Nobody wants to have a press conference in March about shutting down the city, right? Nobody wants to see a brand new convention hotel I can see outside my window like that is empty right now for the most part. And so, it's been tough, but it makes you always think about, and you guys know this in your professions, like you just think about, all right, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? How can I make it better so that we can get back to normal as soon as we possibly can?
Right.
And my view always was, I mean, look at where Kansas City is right now compared to Southern California, right? We've at least partially, largely reopened. You have to wear a mask to do it, but there are a lot of things you can do. Whereas, I've got friends out in the LA area who, no indoor dining, no outdoor dining, interesting enough too,
Sure.
right? All sorts of things that I think are more challenging. So I'm proud of what we've been able to do, although it's been tough every step of the way.
So, Mayor, Kansas City's been under some extensive projects, some which you've already mentioned, the streetcar expansion, free public transit, the new airport terminal. Looking ahead into 2021, what are some of your biggest goals for the year and the future of Kansas City?
Well, people are going to hate me for this, but I think what we need to actually make sure we're still doing is supporting commercial office development and leasing in Kansas City.
Sure.
I mean, it's what a big city does, right?
Yeah.
And while we have industrial in Kansas City, the plaza was a hot real estate office market before the pandemic. Downtown was seeing some really good growth. So I think a big step of what I need to do is help make sure that continues. I still personally would like to see a little bit more in a new commercial office tower, which may not happen for a while, but on the east edge of downtown where we've been underinvested. So that's on that side of things. Obviously, the public safety conversation is a big part of what needs to happen in KCMO. There are a lot of neighborhoods where you can walk around safely in the hour of the day. There are others where we're not there yet. And, I'm meeting with the police chief this afternoon. We're going to continue to take those steps too.
Good. Excellent.
Good. So a little bit of a sports question here. So the future of Kansas City sports is very bright, not only with the success of the Chiefs recently, but we also have a budding movement to bring an NBA team to Kansas City, which you've been very vocal about, a new women's soccer team also, and we actually have a very successful young esports team called the Kansas City Pioneers as well. So we also have tremendous leadership with the Sports Commission under Kathy Nelson. So what are your thoughts on the future of sports in Kansas City?
Well, look, man, I mean, half the reason, I shouldn't say half the reason, my mom lives here too, but I came back to Kansas City sports. I mean, I think you all grew up in Kansas City or,
Yep.
place. I mean, what an awesome last 6-7 years we've had. From the Royals World Series run, which was just magical. I mean, I still remember the city. I was able to go to every Royals game during both the 2014 and 2015 postseasons, every game in Kansas City. And so it was amazing. The Chiefs, and you see this uplift, and as we noted, 2020 was a tough year. We had protests, all of that. It's great just seeing everybody, no matter their background, race, gender, if you're a country person or a city person, everybody excited about one unifying theme. And so that's what I love. I will say, and y'all make me feel so old. I'm 36. I did a meeting with a bunch of folks with the Kansas City Pioneers. And at the end, I was still like, all right, so what are we doing? Like what, I was like, can you guys invite me to play along? But no, I understand that that's growing and is strong. I have always seen, and I'm more, and I say this with respect, my mom mocks me for this and others. I'm more of an athletics guy than an arts guy. I love the arts. I get it. I love having the Nelson Atkins, Kaufman Performing Arts Center, really some wonderful things. But I think in the way that people always talked about how arts are great, it shows that your city is cultural. It shows that your city has an open mind on things, can bring people from around the world. I think sports for the city offers that same opportunity. And I think what you're seeing, be it, the Kansas City Pioneers, our big pro sports teams, our new women's soccer team, college athletics, and still being kind of the heart and soul of that, I think for our country, there is a lot in the Kansas City story that we're doing well with athletics right now. And I hope it keeps going.
Right. Good. So, Mayor Lucas, we have a quick little rapid fire question segment, kind of pioneered by our very own Joel Goldberg. We like to throw a little football analogy twist on it. So we'll essentially go with a recent first down, and this is going to be for you from your perspective, can be personal or professional. Recent first down would be a recent success that has led to more success for yourself or Kansas City. We'll go with a sack, which will be just a slight setback, or maybe you had to elude yourself like Patrick Mahomes out of the pocket and kind of overcome an obstacle. And then a Hail Mary as well. So we kind of touched on some lofty goals already, but if you have another one for us, that'd be great. So Mayor Lucas, what's your first down?
All right. On my, it's good for Chiefs first down. All right. My first down has probably been the rollout of zero fare transit, free public transportation. I will tell you this because I was at President Biden's inauguration a few weeks back. I talked to Mayor Pete, or future Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. And usually when you're talking to somebody that like prominent, although I'm like a while back, he was a mayor for a town smaller than my own, but nevertheless, we got to talk about this, and a success. It felt like a definite first down.
Excellent.
Well, that's great to hear.
What about a sack, Mayor Lucas? Like maybe a small setback that you had to overcome. It doesn't necessarily have to be a very negative thing, but just something that was a slight hindrance.
Every day there's a sack. Let me give you an example. The sack that I have, I'll try not to be too technical about it. We got a lot of CARES Act money to help support cities and budgets and all of that. But I remember talking to one of my senators, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, we didn't actually get money directly to Kansas City, and good luck. You can try to like work through the state, do all this other stuff." And I was like, "Wait, what? Like I thought I was going to get $80 million to help pay for our firefighters and our healthcare workers and all of that." So over time, I had to call a lot of people, and we've been able to at least address things as best we can.
That's good.
And lastly, like I said, you've already mentioned some lofty goals, but a Patrick Mahomes style Hail Mary for the future of Kansas City, or the Wasp, right? Do we have time to run it?
Yeah, the Wasp, man, that was probably one of my memories of 2020. I'll give one serious one and one not so serious one. I just want us to continue to grow as a city, get the sort of density that I think you've seen happening in places like Denver. Being a little more affordable than places like that. I know there's been a lot of income stratification, but I have loved in the pre-COVID years the number of young people moving in, number of young people even who aren't from the Kansas City metro that were finding their way here. I mean, I think that's great. Super lofty goal, though. I'm one of the few people, I think, who got to, within the course of 1 year, see J-Lo and Christina Aguilera perform. We went to the Super Bowl and the president's inauguration. So my real Hail Mary is like, for our eventual Chiefs celebration after they win, even if we have to do it next summer or fall, we bring my best friend J-Lo back to town.
There we go. Hey, there we go.
Speak it into existence. We'll make it happen. I love
manifestation.
Love it. Well, just to quickly wrap things up on the business side, obviously we know Kansas City really well in terms of what we do as recruiters. We're talking to people every single day looking for jobs, but also working with some of Kansas City's best and brightest small and medium-sized businesses. So what can we do to assist with some of, your efforts here in town?
I think making sure that people know that there are opportunities is step one, right? So many people, for whatever reasons, right, just build on networks. And, if you don't have the most expensive network, then you don't think there's an opportunity there. And I mean that both from the employer level and the employee level. So I think being out there, letting people know something's available is key. The other thing is finding new populations where one can kind of look for talent or more opportunities. It breaks my heart. I'll go to other cities and I'll talk to these people. They're like, "Yeah, I'm from Kansas City." I'm like, "Did you ever explore KC?" They're like, "I didn't know anything." Right. Ever since I left Kansas City at 17 or 18 years old, I went to college, and then that was it. And so, really, for me, it is reaching out to new populations. It is making sure opportunities are there, marketing yourselves as big and broadly as you can. And, enjoying life while you do it. I'm generally a happy person. I think life is a lot better that way. And it looks like you guys are that type too, from what I can tell.
Of course. Got to be happy.
Yes.
Happiness is key.
Mayor Lucas, Talkin Chop was a pleasure with you, but now we're going to transition to our second segment, Talkin Chop. So we're going to go right into kind of living in the spirit of Andy Reid. We like to give our guests the first take of the show, especially regarding your meticulous note-taking skills from what we've heard from an inside source. So I would love to hear your initial thoughts on this Tampa game coming up, and with that, time's yours.
Yeah, I gotta handicap Tampa a little bit more. I did watch the NFC Championship. Like 98% of America, I was also upset that Tom Brady can throw 3 interceptions at the end of the Packers. We're unable to capitalize. I mean, come on. And people are like Aaron Rodgers.
Every kick a field goal. Yeah.
I thought that the whole year. But anyway, handicapping it's this, right? The Chiefs offense, I think, was actually real strong against Buffalo. We've been playing games pretty close for a long time, but I think the stars were the defense shutting down Josh Howard, a pretty good franchise. On this one, it's going to be making sure we have a diverse attack. They're probably spending time right now to find a way to shut down Travis Kelce, who is just great with third downs and long. I would like to see us, making sure our running game is at least a part of the action. And but no, I actually feel pretty positive. I mean, I might watch some tape of some film like I Matter.
Yeah, that's everyone in Kansas City.
I mean, I'm still feeling good where we are.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we all got the Super Bowl we deserve, honestly, with Pat Mahomes, the up and coming, future GOAT, hopefully, against the greatest to ever do it in Tom Brady. I've been hearing a lot of, media heads talking about how this is actually could be Patrick Mahomes' biggest game of his career, even though, he's only 25 years old right now. What are your takes on that? I mean, he's got to slay the dragon. If he wins this game, he has the ability. He's catching Tom in a shorter amount of time. What are your thoughts?
That's exactly right. I mean, I do think if Patrick wins this game, even with fewer Super Bowls, there is, as you said, a new GOAT. He reaches LeBron-like status. He has. But, and we all remember this, seeing LeBron come up. And almost from the beginning of LeBron James playing, you were like, oh, my God, this is the greatest player of all time. Yeah. Even, I know that's controversial. Michael Jordan's going to come out of somewhere like dunk off.
I'm with you.
But it's just, and I think Patrick Mahomes has changed this franchise, has in some ways kind of changed the quarterback position. You look at different quarterbacks, very good ones, but he defines a position, and we were never down and out. Think about the playoff run last year. Yeah. We were like 14 points in every freaking game. I mean, it's just insane that we all knew that he's going to come back. So, I mean, I'll actually say it because we're among friends and, just between us three it is that big of a game for him. And if he doesn't win, then he's still a great quarterback. If he does, however, you're absolutely right. He's slayed the dragon. He's in those conversations. This is probably building to be one of the greatest teams of all time.
100%. It's that LeBron MJ matchup we never got, but it's in the Super Bowl, the biggest game in sports. So it'll be a hell of a game. But so going into this game,
who do you think?
I'm stealing that line. That's like the best line I've ever heard. I'm going to put it on Twitter. I'm going to get all these likes.
There you go.
Let's
you
go.
got it.
Let's go.
All day. It's all you. So going into this game, who do you think is the biggest X factor outside of Patrick Mahomes that will have to have a huge game in order for us to win?
Harrison Butker. So
I like that.
Yeah.
A little shaky. I love him. Don't get me wrong. But we've had some missed extra points, a few other things. Kickers, they get in their head. I hope it doesn't come down to that. But, needing to make sure that we have that we can cover the 3-point spread, all those other types of things. Exactly. I mean, I will look for Butker to be a bit of an X factor for him.
No, I love it. I think slaying the dragon, I had that as a point. 2 other points would essentially be, Mayor, the O-line integrity, right? I feel like a lot of people are chalking us up with those injuries. Little do they know, we've been playing all year with 2 or 3 backups, right? So we're doing just fine there. We maintain that chemistry, that integrity. I think we'll be good to go. Plus Pat's mobility, right? That's always a plus. And then second, Super Bowl Spags. He's going to dial up the blitzes. I think he needs to get after Brady. Brady is in the back of the pack when it comes to statistical completions and completion percentage when under duress. So we get Chris Jones, we get Frank the Clark Shark, we get some action back there in the backfield. I think he really starts to show his age, which I feel like a lot of people have been denying that. So I'm excited to see our defense really step up and give him some give him some heck.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like Tom Brady he and Ben Roethlisberger have just this amazing ability to go nowhere and survive in the pocket for a while. I mean, it's just, so it's pressure for them. You can't give him a lot of time or else, they'll have a good day.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Unless Emerson has some other points, I'd love to hear a little bit of your score prediction. Have you given it much thought? Do you have it dialed in?
So the Chiefs are, 3-point favorites, over under 56.5 going into the game.
I was a fool who thought I don't gamble. I just like to talk about it, right?
Of course. But none of us gamble here.
2 weeks ago, I thought the under because I'm an idiot, although it wasn't that far off. It's amazing how they set these, and they're always so
I know.
close.
It's
It's
always
always
dead
dead
on.
on.
Blows
Blows
my
my
mind.
mind
Every time.
No, I'm expecting us to be north of 30, but probably something more like 31. Brady's going to get in the 20s. Let's go with a 31 type 21 sort of score. I think we will have some distance on it. And I'm expecting, a celebration. Well, a later celebration in Kansas City.
Lucas, what about you?
Wear your mask, do whatever, keep social distancing, but maybe get out, buy some nice champagne in advance.
There
because I
you
think
go.
we can pop the corks this weekend.
Of course.
Excellent. Yeah, so I think that it's going to be a back and forth duel between quarterbacks. Will be a heck of a show. I do believe Chiefs come out on top, obviously. 31-24. Butker's going to get some field goals in there and we'll be A-okay.
Yeah, and I actually had the same score prediction. I thought it'd be 31-24 as well. We actually had a news report on the podcast, and our 9-year-old guest analyst, Malachi, and we all got score predictions. So he thinks it's going to be, I think, 31-20.
Right.
And then our producer, Justin, he's got the ballsiest pick out of anyone. He thinks it's going to be, 42-28? 41-28, yeah. So we'll love to see that.
Yeah.
It'd be a high-scoring affair. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No, that'll be a blast. So, guys, enjoy the Super Bowl. I look forward to meeting you in person someday.
Of course.
And, keep doing
Likewise.
that city, get us all jobs. I can only be mayor till 2027, at which point I will call you and they'll be like,
Okay.
who hasn't practiced law in like 20 years, but
We got you. We got you always. Well, Mayor Lucas, thank you so much for your time today. It was great to get to hear not only about your background and your goals for this year in Kansas City, but also your takes on the game.
Yep.
But I appreciate your time, and as always,
Go
go
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
thanks.